So thank you so much to the organizer for this beautiful event, and thanks also for the introduction. Let me, oops, what happened? I share again. So my goal briefly is to answer to these three questions: why we need a legal ontology and legal tech, which methodology among many methodologies of legal ontology design, and finally, which advantages from my perspective point of view, my experience modeling ontologies. So start with the legal tech scenario. In the last 10 years, we assisted to a real huge amount of new application in the legal tech, starting from simply management or system informatization of simple things like e-bill or digital bills. And the last is legal design or blockchain and machine learning and predictive algorithms. And these scenarios really need to have interoperability between technologies and platforms. And in my opinion, legal ontology is a tool that can improve interoperability between different tools that also the law firms are now adopting for enriching the performance and the effectiveness inside of the job of the lawyer. So all of those applications are based mostly on text, legal sources, decisions, legislation, and other verbal but written after sometimes. So the basic are text, but with characteristics. Which characteristics? Authenticity of those texts, integrity, accuracy, quality, updating, and also the provenance are so important because big tech over-the-top companies are now in the field of the market, and plenty of actors are now scanning or transforming the text from paper to digital, and time to time they are not accurate, are not good quality, not authentic, not very well known the provenance of those texts. So the legal ontology also can help very much to understand the provenance of the text, and so the characteristics of authenticity of those texts that are the basis of many of the application in legal text. Also in the legal digital community, so there is an effort put in the semantic web over the time. So we started in the panel, there are many colleagues that started with me to digitalize the legal sources, and the first goal was to have access to those legal documents in web, so in the official portals. But the more and more the semantics annotation of the concept inside of the text was a key point. And nowadays that we assist to the very success of artificial intelligence and also legal analytics, time to time I heard the fact that the semantic is dead. It's not true. It is a moment exactly to use the annotation made in the past using semantic web in order to enrich the artificial intelligence effectiveness and also the performance. So semantic web is a good glue in order to annotate concept, rules, relationship that the other pillars and emerging technology like artificial intelligence, like machine learning can foster and can disseminate better and exploit better. So in my opinion, there is a risk really to have a gap between the real originally text also digitalized in the web by the Gazette and the new form simplified of the legal text using also legal design, pictures or building blocks or diagrams or any other simplification of this text. So simplification is a good goal, but in the middle there are many of legal knowledge that we need to preserve in this transformation from the legal text, officially legal text, quite convoluted time to time, long and very specific for the lawyer, in something that is consumable by human in any level, by the citizen to the companies, but also to the legal expert. So the risk really is to have a legal tech application that is a black box and not transparent what is in the back, and not transparent in respect the human being accessibility. So for this reason, the community and my colleague and friends can share with me this adventure in the last 10 years to develop standards or methodology for design legal ontology good for the legal application. So in this picture, there are some of them, not exhaustive list, but it is a list of standards that are good for the developing of legal ontologies. And for sure, ALI, ACLI, or Akumantoso, or any other standards is a very good starting point for legal tech in order to not reinvent everything, but to reuse as much as possible. So in this new scenario, the legal official text is serialized in a standard very well known inside of a community, and so also auditable, and it's quite transparent. And also the formalization of the logic rules could be transformed in serialization, machine readable, using also legal ontology for annotating the legal concept. And we can go ahead in other application, for instance, legal reasoning or smart contracts or machine learning, and finally to arrive to the visualization also using legal design, icons, diagram, comics, as you like. But the difference between this scenario and the previous one, that the black box is open, and now we can use a semantic web annotation, machine readable, but also inspectionable, auditable by the human in order to understand back through the path for arriving to the original document. So it's not a black box, but is a sort of path of a provenance from the simplification text to the original text. This is true in any legal tech application, also legal analytics, graphs, or machine learning, as Giovanni said before in the presentation. And which methodology? This is a good question, because we have plenty of methodologies. Giovanni explained before, we find upper ontology, foundational ontology since the beginning of the philosophy, but it's quite difficult to apply to the concrete case, but are very good in order to check if our specific domain ontology is well formalized and well designed. So usually the legal domain start exactly from this level, not to the upper level, but from the real concrete domain. So we can find IPR legal ontology, GDPR, e-commerce, or e-procurement. We have plenty at the hand already good legal ontology in the field, and applied also in some legal tech application. But the risk is to not check this legal domain, very concrete ontology, with the main principle of the upper ontology that designed for us a sort of a skeleton that we need to check in order to have an evaluation and a robustness of our thought in the legal domain conceptualization. But on the other hand, as I said before, we start from the text, so from the bottom, because ontologies design take usually years, not months. So another approach is to have light ontologies extracted directly from the text, and it is nice to start from the bottom and to move through the top of the methodology in order to check if the hypothesis that we have is robust enough. All these levels are very useful, and in my project I use a mixed of them and hybrid approach, top down and bottom up. And I use also very much ontology design patterns. This is another methodology. Little ontology, very abstract ontology, very little fragment, like a Lego building blocks, and we can compose our final legal ontology using these building blocks and to compose without have a mistake, because these little ontology are already tested by the researcher and applied in several projects. So in these slides you can see my selection, my personal selection of the ontology design pattern, because in the legal domain we have usually agents, and in such a given time the agent plays a role. In the GDPR, for instance, a company in a given time plays the role of the controller, but in another situation the same company could be a processor and change the role. And also the events obviously is a very important part in the legal domain, and also deontic ontology like Liga RuleML or others that models the rights, prohibition, obligation, and so. So which advantages? In my experience, I tested in several occasion and project many advantages using legal ontologies. First of all, starting from the light ontology, we can improve quality of search inside of the legal text, so we can improve the performance to detect a legal concept. Secondly, we can search among heterogeneous documents, legislation or decisions or European legislation, national legislation, using a common legal ontology. As Giovanni said before, we use legal ontology combined with legal reasoning, so rules and concept together. And also knowledge graph is very nice to extract from the text the main concept and to put in the knowledge graph in order to answer very simple questions, but let me say not like a normal search engine, but fostering and using the relationship between the concept. And also the smart contract are very important application nowadays in emerging application in the legal domain, and the programming like the legal reasoning need to an harmonized vocabulary of predicates, otherwise we have really a forest of smart contract not comparable each other. And the time is very few, but I put some example of my project. This is a project that combine manual annotation of the legal expert with ALI and ACLI extracted by the open government portal data of European Commission. Is a seller that Enrico knows very well, and we can navigate using those combination and mapping of different ontologies together. This is another example of bottom-up ontology. We extracted using machine learning and open knowledge extraction methodology a forest of concept, and we organized this concept in order to help the legal expert to answer to very frequent questions concerning the private international law. In this case, we have a very, very conflicting definition, and these techniques is quite nice, exactly in the situation when we have no one true answer, but we have a multiple good answer and conflicting rules. And this is another experience but top down, so from a very theoretical organization of the concept. The name of the ontology is Pronto. We started with foundational ontology and go down in the domain. And we connected the privacy policy with the Pronto ontology, and we put in the back of the icons the RDF, like the Creative Commons is familiar to do, in order to have the image of the icons, but in the back also the serialization of the duty of the rights that the icon represents. And finally, we use the prompt ontology also for annotating the rules in order to have an harmonized vocabulary, not invented by the programmer or from the legal engineer time to time, but to have a common shared vocabulary of concept and relationship in order to start from the text and to arrive to the legal knowledge modeling using for instance, legal defeasible logic. This is a very short example how it is in practice work. We have a legal fragment. We serialize with the parsing in a Komantoso, XML. We try to help the people, legal expert, to formalize in logic rules. But in these logic rules, you can see a lot of predicates or concepts like child. Child in this concept, this context is very different of the legal meaning of child in the civil code, because child in this context is a different meaning. So we need to have an ontology that explain what is the meaning of this child that is different respect to other situation in legal domain. So for this reason, we have also an extension of the legal vocabulary, because in the common privacy policy, for instance, Facebook doesn't use child but kid. So we extend also the vocabulary in order to have similar tokens, or to model the relationship between different tokens. So we pay attention also to the language, and we have also the ontology in the back that can explain to the machine that when we have a child, we have also parents or responsible holder of some actions. This is not written in the text, it's written in the ontology. So the other applications can take advantages from this extension of knowledge using the ontology, even if the text doesn't say nothing concerning the relationship between the child and the parents. Exception is a part of the rules, not of the ontology. It's very difficult to model very large exception in the ontologies, even if we have some cases time to time. But in my experience, I delegate the role to manage the exception to the rules, legal rules. Okay, I'm finished. So the idea is to have also in this case, in the smart contract, the same vocabulary, not invented by the programmer. I have the occasion to make a deliverable concerning this topic. There is a link. And well, the idea is that to use a legal ontology, to have a common vocabulary, to open the black box and to transform it in a white box in any legal tech application. Thank you so much.